What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the Wild Nutrition Podcast. I'm your host, Chris Heskett, and this is another Coffee Talk Friday. So, these used to be Unapologetic Friday, and I changed the name because it's just not the feel. So, these are still short, unedited, unrefined. I literally just record myself talking and press the post button, and it comes out on Fridays. So, sometimes I'm going to be passionate. Today, a little less so. So that's why I changed, because I was trying to fake hype myself up for Unapologetic Fridays. And anyone who knows my personality, if I get really passionate about something, then yeah, I'm going to be cursing and doing all those things. I'm still going to curse. It's still going to be put as expletive. Is that the word? Is that the word I'm looking for? Still going to be rid of that. But just recently, I'm not necessarily fired up about anything I want to say on the podcast. There's certain things I am, in my personal life and things like that, or that I see on social media, but nothing I think I need to share on the podcast and social media. So with that being said, today's topic is how to actually feel happy and accomplished. Weird topic for a health and fitness podcast, but at the end of the day, we are trying to improve our health. We're trying to lose weight. We're trying to get in shape so we can feel better, so we can feel happy or confident or whatever your goal is. But a lot of times it comes down to some form of you've lost your ability to get up and down off the ground. So you need to lose weight and build strength. So you don't feel like if you fall down, you won't be able to get up, or you can get down and play with the kids, or you can pick up your kids and not just be totally exhausted after 2 steps. There's a variety of reasons, but a lot of times it's some form of that, or it's some form of keeping that. And a lot of times, if you're like me, getting into it, or you're just starting out, you're trying to help externally build confidence. You might feel weak and frail, as I did when I first started lifting, and you want to get stronger to build this quote unquote suit of armor of muscle. There's a variety of reasons. That was one reason I did, and it was build muscle to gain confidence, because I thought girls were gonna it was build muscle to get girls. Did not happen, as I've stated before in other podcast episodes, but it did help me build some confidence in myself, which down the road ended up working out. So first thing here, how we build happiness. When we're talking about health, fitness, going to the gym, the first thing we want to do is start doing hard things. We live in a world where we're climate controlled. The house is always 68 to 72 degrees, or some variation, but it's somewhere in the 60s to maybe 80 degrees at most in most people's houses the entire year. We never really have to face the weather. We have really nice things. We can talk to people online. We don't have to go. We can actually order groceries. We don't have to go out to stores. We can do a lot of things sitting from our home, do nothing. We have unlimited entertainment delivered through a box on our wall, aka the screen, the TV, or your phone, or your iPad, whatever it is. You can get unlimited entertainment. You can, if you're like me, you can work from home. In the grand scheme of things, it's a pretty cushy life. Even if life is tough and stressful for you right now, which a lot of people it is, I get it. We just saw that they're trying to increase the taxes, the homeowners tax, whatever that is, in the real estate tax. They're trying to increase that for my township. I'm like, it's already one of the most expensive of the area. Why are we doing this? But that's not for the podcast. But I get the life is stressful. So we want to do hard things. And the reason for this is going to help build up resilience. But when we're talking about being happy, doing a lot of hard things actually helps create some of people's favorite memories. And it also helps build up confidence, because you realize I didn't die. I can do that again. I can go back and try harder. There's more in me. I didn't realize I could do that. what am I actually capable of? Or, wow, 3 months ago, I couldn't do that. Now I can. Let me keep pushing myself. And the gym is a place for a lot of people to experience this the first time, or just a home workout. So when I say gym, I mean any place you are working out, whether it's at home or you're going to a gym, etc. It's a place for a lot of people to get this, to do some hard things. Because at the end of the day, like I said, most people have fairly cushy jobs. And even if you have a blue collar job, one thing that happens is you build up to a certain point. Like your job is tough, but it's not really building any mental toughness after a while. Just like if you're curling dumbbells, 20 pounds for 10 reps, after a while, you have to go up in weight, or you have to increase your reps, or you're not going to see changes. Your body has adapted. Well, same thing here. The other thing is, as we do hard things, generally these are things we want to do. For example, making changes to our diet, avoiding the really tempting things like sugary, fatty foods, like well, it's Halloween, and I have a Reese's in front of me for a video I did today. So candy, chocolate, that's my vice. And the holiday cookies coming up, that's my other vice. I'm a sweets person. My wife's a savory person, so chips, popcorn, pretzels, pizza, alcohol, things that are so easily accessible to us, and overall, fairly cheap. Limiting those things, getting to the gym, or doing other things, say like even cold showers, ice baths. While the health benefits are questionable, whether they really are, one thing that they are good at is, one, they're tough, they're hard. They're also good at adapting you to the cold, so I have to start doing them to get ready for, because I was freezing my butt off the other day sitting in the tree stand when we had that cold front come through. I was like, oh, I'm not cold adapted. I've been spending too much time inside, so that's one way I cold adapt. But it sucks. I know it's going to suck. It sucks every time. I feel amazing afterwards, but getting in it sucks. And there's that barrier. And when you get over that barrier of, I know this is going to fucking suck, and I'm going to willingly do it anyways, and then you do it, and it goes well. I did the ice bath. I didn't die. I went and did that workout. I hated, and now I feel better. I made these changes to my diet. I ate this food. I didn't think I was going to like it. It actually was pretty good. All of a sudden, you're racking up wins. You get more confidence in yourself. You feel more capable. And what we found when it comes to stress and handling stress, your body can adapt to stress just like with building muscle, like exercise. You give it a little bit of stress, like, okay, we're going to go from curling those 20-pound dumbbells for 10 reps, and now next week we're going to do 25s. You go from a little bit of stress to a little bit more stress, and then you give yourself recovery. Just like you can't like do those curls every single day. You have to like, okay, well, tomorrow is going to be an off day. We're going to go do cardio. And then the next day is leg day. So it won't be until, a couple of days or even next week until we hit curls again. Same thing with stress. We need to put in a little bit of stress and then recover. As you do that, your body is actually, your nervous system is more capable of handling higher and higher stress loads without the negative side effects. Now, chronic stress is always going to be negative, but you can handle more without getting that frazzled, like I'm going to tear my hair out, I can't focus, I'm totally burnt out feeling, which we've probably all had. And you can kind of see this in yourself already. Think about like what the most stressful thing it was in high school. And you look back, you're like, that was hard. Like every parent does this. But even if you're not a parent and you can look back on your own life, and you're like, man, to go back to high school, like, oh, it was so easy. But during that time, you're like, this was the hardest thing you have ever experienced. You have nothing else to compare it to. That was, to you, the hardest thing. You look back at college and you're like, oh my God, for me, it's like studying for anatomy and physiology. Like, oh my God, like we're barely scraping by. Like if I mess up this test, I'm going to have to retake this whole course, and then I'm going to have to hear from my parent like, oh my God, I can't, like it was the most stressful thing. And you're like, oh, that's nothing. Studying when I got my CSCS, my strength conditioning certification, that was one of the hardest tests I've ever taken. Still to this day, one of the hardest tests I've ever taken. And at the same time, it's like, it really wasn't that hard. But at that time, it was the most difficult thing I've ever done. And so it was the most stressful thing I've ever done. Not to mention, like, my job was literally riding on it. Like, I did a interview. They're like, okay, great, you got the job as long as you pass that test you're taking tomorrow. I was like, oh, fuck me. I passed it. My dad was like, what happened if you didn't pass it? I was like, that wasn't an option. So you build up this capability and resilience over time. Now, if you don't, and a lot of people live this very cushy life, and then they just get dumped on with stress, and that's where you see people who are unable to manage it. They're just like, what the fuck do I do? And they kind of just shut down. They can't be functional at all. It's just like, okay, massive amount of stress, versus other people seem to be like, okay, still massive amount of stress, but they're able to function properly. I don't know what's the difference. One thing is, those people have been doing hard things. If you're working out regularly, you did sports in high school, were active through college, you continued into your adult life, you did hard things, and you've continued to do hard things in your life, then you are more capable of handling stress. And those people are generally going to be happier. They're going to be more capable, and they're going to be better able to handle stress and problem solve stress in their life versus just like shutting down. And we've all probably seen this. Maybe this is you. The thing is, you can start to reverse this. If you're like, man, that's me. As soon as like any little bit of stress comes into my life, I just like shut down. No. Welcome to living in a first world country. You didn't choose that. Well, potentially you didn't choose it. Not all of us do. But, and it's great, but we do need to work on this. So working out, but also doing things like going for a really long hike, going backpacking, sitting out, oh, it's cold out, like going out in like extreme temperatures safely. All those things can help you. Like, a lot of people are like, oh, it's cold out, I'm just not going to go outside. Like, go the fuck outside, get your steps in. Who cares what the weather is? Oh, it's hot out, I'm not going outside, hot and humid. Like, go the fuck outside. Now, I don't always, like, middle of the day, like, I like doing walks middle of the day. In the middle of summer, I don't, because it's going to burn my dog's feet. But we do go out later. Oh, it's buggy. Like, yeah, it's annoying, but go outside. Do these little things, while they seem little, it's the compounding effect. Over time, they add up. The one fact, like, you're not going to do an ice bath tonight and be like, tomorrow, like, I'm a Navy SEAL. Like, that's not going to fucking happen. Probably most of us are never going to get to the toughness of a Navy SEAL. Like, those guys are insane. But you're going to do that, and you're going to come out a little bit better. You're going to come out a little bit tougher. And over time, you've built up that resilience. And where the happiness comes in is when you look at a lot of some of your favorite memories, or you hear stories from family members and friends. A lot of times it's never like, hey, we went on vacation and things went perfectly well, and that's that. Like, you might hear that story one time, but it's not the story they tell 10 years later. The story they tell 10 years later is like me when I went backpacking for the first time. So it's like, okay, like, nervous, did not have the right gear, didn't have it. Like, we're in the middle of a recession. My parents are like, we're not buying you hiking boots. You can wear tennis shoes. They're like, don't wear tennis shoes. I'm like, that's all I have. So we get to our first spot, and it takes forever for us to boil water. So we're like the last ones eating. And then it just, like, the next day it downpours rain. And everything is soaking wet. Literally, it's just downpouring. Like, we had, going up a mountain, like 3 inches of water just running down the trail we were on. And so it was just downpouring. So the next day, all the streams had basically turned into white water. And what was normally a safe, easy stream crossing between two waterfalls was now white water. So what we had to do, we had to learn quickly is, well, you can't go back, because back is 8 miles or 10 miles. It was some 8 or 10 miles to go back, and the car's not there. They're not waiting for us there. They're waiting for us up ahead, which was like a mile away. So it's like we can either go another mile or we can go back 8 or 10 miles after, walking for 2 days. So this is the last day. And so they taught us really quickly, okay, teams of 3, you guys are going to all step at the same time and kind of rotate to get across the stream. Now, to paint a picture, to your right was a waterfall, downpouring. The stream, I'm not sure how long, because obviously this is going back like 10 years, more than 10 years, 12 or 13 years. But it wasn't very big. And then to your left was another waterfall. And it was like a 20-foot waterfall. So it wasn't like massive, but you go down, it's rocks at the bottom. So not good. We're just going to leave it at that. So it was water right into the water, like a lot of people's nightmares. So we had to kind of rotate and making sure everybody had 1 foot down before stepping. So it was like 1, 2, 3, step, 1, 2, 3, step, 1, 2, 3. And to be honest, like the stream wasn't that far, but it was far enough to like, yeah, you can't just like cross this. Like we need to do teams, and we had to learn right then and there how to do it. And a lot of people were nervous, including myself, but you did. And you're like, holy shit, we did that. That's awesome. And so same thing when I went rock climbing for like legit rock climbing, not like a rock wall, like legit rock climbing. I remember getting halfway up and like having a mini panic attack, like, holy fuck, what am I doing? And I was like, get a hold of yourself. Just keep going. I have this cable on me. I'll be fine. So they're having some of these experiences. And if you're like, well, I'm not fucking going rock climbing, I don't have stuff to go backpacking. It doesn't need to be that. But having experiences like that help you become tougher, help you become more resilient. And that affects all other areas in your life. And that can be, it doesn't have to be those things. It can be just like, I don't know, going for a hike. If you've never gone for a hike before, like go for a hike. You've never hiked with kids, like throw a kid in a backpack. Like if you have little kids, they have to go in a backpack. Now you have to do a weighted one. That's hard. It doesn't need to be super tough. And the only person who needs to know is you. You don't have to be like, I'm doing these toughness things. And then you show someone and they're like, that's not that tough. Like, one, this is not a comparison contest. This is a self-improvement thing for you. So my challenge to you, and the reason, again, is to find things, but look back at some of your memories. So going back, what are the stories you tell people? Like for my parents, it was always like the military, where they had to do a lot of hard things. And then in the military, when they were stationed in Alaska, all of their things dealing with like crazy Alaska weather when they were backpacking and camping and things like that. They have all these stories. I'm sure in the moment, it was not super fun. But years later, it's a story they look back on. So in addition to doing minor tough things, do some other things. Challenge yourself safely, but challenge yourself. Do these other things. See what you have done in the past before. Be like, you know what? We should do that again. It really was just a shit show. Think about probably if you've just done a vacation and things just went to absolute hell. You're like, we had a flight cancel and then we had this happen and then that happened. And oh my God, it was a total shit show. And it's a story you tell for years and years and years. The one that went super well, you're going to be like, okay, I forgot about that. When I hiked up Camelback in Arizona, going from like late spring weather here in Pennsylvania to Arizona, where it's like 90 degrees when I hiked up and dry versus like damp and cold here. It's like dry and hot there. And I remember coming down the mountain, like I have 1.5 bottles of water left. I've gone through 4 bottles of water. Okay, I need to go now before I get too dehydrated. I remember getting down to the bottom and drinking 3 bottles of water while waiting for the Uber to pick me up. It's like, oh shit, this weather is no joke. But being able to do that, especially passing people who were just like couldn't do it, was super rewarding. Now, if you could do that, don't be very, you need more water than you think. Probably triple the amount of water that you think, and take things slow and take breaks. I had to really slow down because that heat and elevation climb got to me real quick. Holy shit. And there are people suffering on that trail who are from up north. But we're at 20 minutes. So I'm going to wrap it up here, guys. Big thing. Takeaway. Do hard things. The gym. You don't have to do ice baths. You don't have to do cold showers. But if you want to, it's a hard thing. You can do it. Health benefits? Questionable. Will it make you more cold tolerant? Probably. Does it force you to not think for like 5-10 minutes? Absolutely. That's one of the main benefits for me. The physical benefits, I don't even bother with. The mental benefits for me, absolutely there. Adjusting your diet. Doing things that are hard or scary. Starting a business. If you're like, oh, I want to start a podcast. I want to start a Facebook group. I want to do these things. But I just fucking do it. Don't say but. Just start taking action towards it. You will build up that resilience to go down that route. Of course, safely, smartly. Don't do anything brash. Don't do anything dumb. Safe. Like if you're like, well, we're going to go to Death Valley during a heat wave. We're going to hike without water. That's stupid. That's not what I'm advocating. Will it be hard? Absolutely. Will you come back? Possibly not. So the whole goal is to do things that are tough, but also like come back from it and not be traumatized or like in the hospital. So safe, hard things, build up resilience, build up confidence, and ultimately make you happier.